An album a day is my exploration into the Korean music scene. This podcast will cover mainstream, indie, and some underground artists within the scene and provide both factual and opinionated commentary. The biggest benefit to sharing my thoughts this way is that it will hopefully expose you to more great music and exploration of your own. You're tuned in to an album a day. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. All right. This is day one. Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Day one, we're kicking it off at YG Entertainment, which I find very interesting in and of itself because I came into K-pop in 2012 by way of YG Entertainment, but we're not at that number, nor are we at that letter for me to even go down that path. For the next couple of days, we're looking at One Time. Now, One Time, they spell it with the number one and then a capital TYM. It is pronounced One Time. They are or was, depending upon how you want to look at it, because technically they went on hiatus in like 2005 ish, but they never full fledged disbanded. So they were slash was slash are a 4-member hip hop group, and two of the members get a lot of attention, one of which being Teddy Park, who does a lot of music production for a lot of the artists at YG, and then Danny M, who used to have a TV show on Mnet America when Mnet America was still a thing. So, like I said, they went on hiatus around 2005, 2006. So that was a long chunk of time ago. And we are going to their debut album, which was released November 17th, 1998. Some of y'all listening to this was born in 1998. I was an eighth grader in 1998. So this is a little wild to me. When you go on Wikipedia and you look at like the details concerning this, it says the format was CD and cassette. Like, stop yourself in 2019 or whatever year it may be that you're listening to this. Cassette, some of y'all don't even know the magic of a cassette and having to rewind and hope that it don't unravel while you're trying to get to your jam. Oh, it was a life of its own. One Time for Your Mind was the name of their debut album. And for the Korean charts, it peaked at number 6. It never did go beyond that. In fact, the highest that they ever peaked on the charts was 4, but we'll get to those albums in the next couple of days. And at the time of this particular recording, for sales in Korea, it sold over 232,000 units, but it is most definitely one of their most popular. The thing that I really find entertaining about it is just how dated it is. Like, they got Best Hip Hop Artist for the KMTV Music Awards from this album. They got Rookie of the Year for both Golden Disc Award and for SBS. Anything that they ever got nominated for, they did win awards for. So they were never someone who was a nominee without a win. But even still, with this being in 1988, and it's, the dawn of the era where we're giving everyone a pat on their back for just doing the bare minimum. It's a very dated, very late 90s kind of vibe. Very ironically, Puff Daddy and the Family, if you really want to look at it, they do a lot of shouting out of YG Entertainment as well as YG, the actual CEO of YG Entertainment, throughout the album. There's a lot of simple drum patterns. There's not a very memorable, out of the ordinary memorable song, but we're going to talk about what's on there anyway, because it's not enough for me to just give you these little vague breakdowns of what I'm talking about. Like, who is that really helping? So you got to bear with me. This is the first episode. Do I know what I wanted this to sound like? Of course not. I even have a little small audience of people on live stream watching me do this as I kind of navigate how I want to talk about this album. It seemed so much easier in my mind than what we're actually getting as audio, but I am enthused. I am genuinely excited about it. So I'm pulling up on the computer right now while we're waiting for everything to refresh and reload as much as I can about how many tracks were featured on this album so that I can give you the real, because I don't like giving the fake. And they never did release that many albums at all. They had a handful. So, One Time for Your Mind had 9 tracks on it, and if you really want to be technical about it, it's 10 because there's a hidden track, and most people know the songs that have the full-fledged Korean titles because Teddy Park grew up and had an influence of Western culture, American culture. He was able to bring a lot of the English rap to a whole new level on the song. And I think in the late 90s, that's what gave them the extra edge. They weren't um, they weren't solely confined to just using the word, yo, hey man as English. There was for real English rapping happening on there with a sprinkling of English on the choruses. So it was really cool. The song One Time is fun. It's got a nice little stereotypical late 90s hip hop vibe to it. A lot of very, very. Oh, I've heard this before on TV shows or commercials kind of vibe. Like, it's just, gosh, it's really weird to try to talk about it without playing it for you. And I can't play it for you because if I do, then I'm going to have to pay for that. And do you know how limiting that is in a podcast to want to articulate a particular song in a way that goes beyond just some vague ass communication? But I can't give you more than that. I cannot provide you with the opportunity to listen to the song because I have no ownership, no rights whatsoever to the music. So even playing just a snippet of it would be a huge problem, which is all the more reason for you to just find it online and listen to it on your own on YouTube or maybe on iTunes or Google Play. But I will tell you about the song that really stood out for me. They have a song called Na를 기다려, Wait for Me. That's what it translates to in English. Wait for Me. Wait for Me is the last track, well, aside from the bonus track that I mentioned. But it's the last track, and it's got a really good vibe to it. And it makes you anticipatory of them having a comeback. It's just a really nice song that I feel like gave everybody in the group an opportunity to shine. And it it didn't it what's the best visual? You remember when you watching like old stuff and you see all the boy bands on the stage with their super baggy pants and they got all the microphones and they like reaching out to the horizon to whoever is present. And if y'all familiar with Carl Thomas and how we said R&B died the day that they stopped reaching for people, which you can't see him on the videos. Carl Thomas is a meme of him just reaching, sitting in some water, reaching. Well, Wait for Me. Wait for Me would give you the reaching vibes. It would make you feel like somebody need to be sitting in some water or on a hill, a cliff, something, just reaching while they just singing and rapping their little heart out. We're doing real simple dance moves. It's just it's a good vibe. And I like the song. It really stood out for me a lot when listening to the album. And hopefully, when you get a moment to listen to it on your own, when you get to that last track, you'll have that reach out and touch somebody kind of vibe as well. But let's circle back. I know I kind of jumped around a little bit and whatnot. Let's go back to this whole thing where I said Puff Daddy and the Family. I ain't say Diddy. I ain't say Papa Diddy Pop like the video. I said Puff Daddy and the Family. There was a time where you really couldn't have a track at Bad Boy Entertainment without Diddy touching it in some form or fashion. Either he was featured on it, he produced it, or he was in the video standing there with his mouth agape. I hate mouth breathers. It's such a problem. Well, with this, you have Teddy, this I can produce it, I can make the music happen and magic happen moment where Teddy kind of assumes the Puff Daddy and the rest of the group is the family. But then you also have the encompassing fact that they're shouting out YG, like I said, because it's his label and he gave them a chance to shine as artists. So there's this really little interesting 1-2 punch of we got our built-in Teddy. I mean, our built-in Diddy, Teddy. The names rhyme, y'all. Bear with me. And then we've got, our label mate who was a backup dancer. Diddy was a backup dancer and then started a label. YG started a label. And now you are the gateway to my hopes and my dreams coming true. So I just found that really, really interesting. I'm sure there are other examples of it elsewhere, but since we're starting at the top, this is what it resonated with me best out of all the examples that existed. So yeah, this is my haphazard ass podcast about me talking about the music. I listened to this album and I listened to it twice. I listened to it once to try to understand the language and whatnot. There was some random wordplay with English and English curse words, like shit that didn't fit. But again, this is 1998. Just bear with it. But then I listened through it for the second time around, and it's a very cohesive album. I can't deny that. It does work. Nothing seems out of place. It doesn't seem like they just threw a fast tempo song in the wrong spot or anything of the sort. And I respect that a lot. Anything that can create a very well put together album will keep it at the top of your list. I don't have a ranking system just yet. Like, I don't know if I would say this is, a 5-star, 4-star, whatever the case may be, but y'all give me a little bit. Y'all give me a bit. By the time we make it to their last album, I'm going to have my ranking in place. So you'll know if it's something you should go buy. Like, you need a hands-on copy of it because it's that legendary, or if you'll need to download it, or you can just listen to it on YouTube for free. I'm going to have it figured out. But I appreciate you listening to this first one of day one of an album a day. And I will catch y'all tomorrow in the next show.